going on, everybody? Danny Coker here, aka The Count. Want to talk to you about the episode that you may have just watched on History Counting Cars. If you missed the episode, you can look it up, find it on History's website. You can find it in all kinds of places, but it's a cool episode. It's the episode where we went to Palm Springs, selling a Cadillac that I didn't really want to sell. Did a beautiful 72 three-door Suburban for a really cool client, and then a personal favorite 66 Corvette. What's a three-door Suburban? For those of you that don't know, the Suburbans in the early days, they actually made a three-door version, which offered merely a driver's door, obviously on the driver's side, and then on the passenger side, there was a passenger front door and a passenger back door. So technically it was just three doors, not including, the door in the back. So the three-door Suburbans were really, really cool, man. It was kind of like the early version of changing a utility type of a vehicle into a semi-passenger vehicle, which is why they added that third door for easy access to get in and out of the back seat. This vehicle, when we got it, it looked great, but man, when it came back from sandblast, there's nothing but holes. As Ryan likes to say, it's rust holding hands. This truck required so much metal fabrication. It was everywhere. I mean, it was terminal. If it wasn't for the love for this vehicle by its owner, and for the fact that a vehicle like this is actually semi-rare, a vehicle like this really would have ended up in the scrap heap. It was that rusty. So, my fab team went berserk, and brand new steel everywhere. I mean, it was everywhere on the truck. Unbelievable. But the client is a really cool guy. He really wanted to enjoy this truck. He's a lineman, I remember that old song, Lineman for the County? He's a lineman. The guy works on the big power lines, high tension lines, things like that. And one of the cool things I liked about this build, about this truck, was his daughter did some artwork, some lineman artwork. Ryan and the boys copied her artwork and did it on the dash of his truck, which was great for him as a surprise. That was cool. The paint job on the truck came out stunning, all steel, beautiful. Interior, gorgeous, roomy, updated. Drive it across the country and back, enjoy it, take it to car shows. You got room in the back for the trophies. Beautiful, beautiful truck. I like that one a lot. That was cool. Another part of this particular episode that I kind of had a little bit of a love-hate relationship with was I sold a Cadillac, 1961 Cadillac bubble top coupe. We had built this car for the SEMA show for our friends at Matrix and Sherman-Williams Paint, things like that. So it was unveiled at SEMA, and then it was on display in their booth to show off their paint products, which are phenomenal. So this car we went crazy on, but before we started the build on this car, I made a promise to my team, to Kevin, to the shop, to everybody, that I wasn't going to keep this Cadillac. We're going to build it, and I'm going to sell it. I'm going to take it to auction. When the car was done, it was so gorgeous and got so well received at SEMA. I really didn't want to sell it, but I'm a man of my word. So I had already spoken to an auction company that I love. Going to the auction in Palm Springs is always great, but this particular trip was a little unusual for me because I was selling something that I really wasn't too sure that I wanted to sell. The Cadillac did really good at the auction. I was very happy about it. I was happy with the sale price. I was happy with the number. But most important, what made me the happiest about it was the folks that bought it, the couple that bought it. They're just cool people, and they sincerely fell in love with the car. A lot of people loved the car there, but these folks were bound and determined that they were going to take this car home. So when it was bidding time, they were just on it, no questions asked. They were on it. They bought the car. I know the car is gone to a really good home, good people, and they love it. It makes the sting a little bit less, man. I really am a car guy, you guys. I fall in love with these things. So, the sting was a little bit less just because I got to see what kind of home it was going to. and the people that bought it were great. The auction is always a good time. There's a great buzz there of just excitement. The cars, the action on the auction floor, you know, it's just great. It just really gets you going. You know, I got a little fired up while I was there too. I just, you know me, I'm a car lunatic, and I've kind of always wanted to trick out I like those Bentley Flying Spurs. You know, can't help it. They're just a cool car. Comes out of the factory, you know, pushing 200 miles an hour. But anyways, there was a nice one there at the McCormick auction. It was a really nice one there, and I was tempted. I was looking. I checked it out. I bid on it. I got in on the action. I bid on it, but it was difficult for me because I was distracted. I was so busy while I was there focusing on the sale of my Cadillac that I really didn't get the opportunity to really study this Bentley very well. So I had only seen it for a very short period of time by the time it went on the auction block. And so once it got to a certain number, I just kind of decided, you know, slow down, man. I didn't get a lot of time to spend with the car, so I let it go. But I had a great time. The McCormick auction, Keith McCormick, his entire team, those people are so kind. They've been wonderful to my family for years. They've been wonderful to me for years. That it was just great to see them and be there and be a part of the auction. And I look forward to doing it again. You know, it's something that's unusual for me to take a car to auction, but I would do it again without question. And hopefully, in the future, you'll stick with me. We'll go back to Palm Springs, whether it be on the show or whether it be here on the Counts Customs YouTube channel, and maybe we'll buy something or sell something again. I think the favorite part of this particular episode that you guys may have just watched would be, I really loved that '66 Corvette. I really did. I remember buying that car. The gentleman that I bought the car from, you know, we tried to track him down when the car was finished because I really wanted him to see the car done, but couldn't find him, couldn't get a hold of him. Bought the car, thought to myself, man, I love these mid-year Corvettes, these C2 Corvettes. I really like to build myself one. And it was one of those type of things where I just kind of stashed it away. I didn't have a client for it. Stashed it away in one of my warehouses and was waiting for the right reason and the right excuse to build it. And when a client contacted us here at the shop and was looking for a Corvette, an old vet, it's like, all right, I got one, so let's just build this. So the nice thing about this client was his rules were pretty light. I mean, he had a budget, but his rules were, I want you to do what you would do to this car using these numbers, using this budget. I love that. Again, my favorite kind of client is no rules, and give me what you're willing to spend and let me have fun with it. So under those guidelines, under that budget, you know, I built the car the way I would build it, man. You know, I'm a huge fan of 383 stroker, love the 4-speed behind it, updated all the suspension goodies on it to make the thing handle fantastic, updated the brakes on it, did those gorgeous side mount headers and those side pipes on it, the torque thrust wheels in 17-inch size, so they got that classic look, but they got a modern updated tire on them. Car just came out gorgeous. All factory black interior, added Resto-Mod air to it, just cleaned up everything. Under the hood, it was really sanitary. Great street car. I mean, this car is a car you could drive on the road every day, enjoy it. This car was meant to be driven. It was built to be driven. It was a heck of a lot of fun car. Fast car. Drove the car. Fast car. Again, everything under the hood was beautiful. I thought the car came out gorgeous. And when I call it a great street car, a great driver car, it was built to be driven. It was built to be enjoyed. But the things about it that really stand out is the fact that body lines and panels lining up and all of the extra work that we did on the body of this car that Corvettes never came factory with just made it that much nicer. So it's definitely a car that the new owner can take to any car show and show this thing off with pride. The paint was stunningly gorgeous. Love the red, black Stinger hood, black accents on the side pipes and the wheels and the interior and all that kind of stuff. But I loved that car. That car came from out of my head, out of my heart, and I loved doing that car. That was one of my favorite things about that car was just the fact that I did it the way that I would do it, you know, under the constrictions of our client's budget. I really dug it, man. I really dug it. Great car. I know the client is thrilled. Great seller. Good times at the auctions in Palm Springs, selling that Cadillac. It was a little bit painful, but good people that bought it. That three-door Suburban really came out gorgeous, and I know those folks are really happy too. So this was a really kind of an uplifting, solid, happy episode of Counting Cars. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know we enjoyed working on these vehicles, man. That Suburban was a challenge. My props go out to, first off, the fab department. The metal fab department went just off the chain on that truck. If it wasn't for them, that truck was gone. That truck was absolutely gone. And the Cadillac was just such a showpiece at the auction, at the McCormick auction. And that Corvette was a Corvette that I would have definitely kept for myself, but it was for a client, so it had to go. And I'll just keep shopping. You know I'll find more. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in with me here, the Counts Customs YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed a little chat about this particular episode. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button here on the YouTube channel because I'm gonna keep bringing you cool stuff and we're gonna keep talking about every episode you're gonna watch. And I'll give you some behind the scenes stuff on the vehicles that we do. So hope you guys have enjoyed. Stick with me, more cool stuff to come. You guys rock.